time for Around the Ozarks in 5, brought to you by the Butterfly Palace. Have the best day ever adventuring through the rainforest at the Butterfly Palace. And Springfield Greene County Park Board, reminding you to go play. Here are your hosts, Ethan and Sarah Forhetz.
Thanks to our sponsors. We couldn't do it without them. We're grateful, and good morning to you. It is Tuesday, and we're moving our way through the week. It's going to be a hot one this week, so we'll talk a little bit more about that later, but let's start with news.
A 29-year-old man from Topeka was arrested in Springfield after shooting an infant in Kansas. Police say Alfred Smith shot that baby on July 14th and was arrested here in town a week later. He's now being held in Greene County without bond. No word on why the shooting, but we do know that Smith was the baby's dad. A 19-year-old man who shot a stranger in the foot in a downtown Springfield parking garage has now been sentenced. Kerry Brooks was 19 at the time. He's now 20. He has been sentenced to 14 years in prison. He told police the dispute was over a vape pen and that he was drunk when he asked a man for his vape pen. That man said no. So apparently Mr. Brooks shot the man's foot last September.
Wow. Two crazy stories to start off our newscast today. This is crazy as well. Six of the 8 people injured on the Lake of the Ozarks when their boat actually crashed into a house on the land, of all things. 6 of them are still recovering. Meanwhile, the Highway Patrol says speed, inattention, and boating while drinking definitely played a factor in that late night crash in the dark. Other boaters say the specific landmass where that crash happened is hard to see even in the daylight sometimes, even more so when it's dark, and it was close to midnight Saturday whenever this took place. Water Patrol says it's even more of a reason to slow down, pay closer attention, and not be drinking while you're boating. All of that could have saved a lot of people a lot of trouble.
Yes.
That's at Lake of the Ozarks. Republic police are looking for a thief who stole a trailer from a work site along Highway 60, then abandoned it in Springfield. Officers say it was a man driving an SUV that stole it. It was likely a late model Ford Excursion with missing driver's side door handles, along with red paint on the rear bumper. And Republic police on their social media pages posted a picture of this SUV that you can see for yourself if you like. If you see that SUV driving around, you are asked to call Republic Police immediately because they're looking for it.
All right. Out with one restaurant and in with another. JW's Kitchen, as it will be called, is going to be opening a brunch restaurant where Progress once sat in Farmers Park. As we told you, Progress closed down, so JW's Kitchen is moving in. They should be ready to go in November. In fact, the owners of this new place also own Farmers Gastropub. It's a couple. JW's Kitchen, they say, is named after their grandmas. So that's fun. It'll be open.
That's it. And it's a brunch restaurant. Brunch only? Or brunch specialty?
Only. Yeah. You know, it's interesting, though, because maybe that's a better model because in this, post-COVID era where it's very hard to find workers or enough workers, it's a way to say, hey, we're going to be open with shorter hours and then your customer is expecting it as opposed to people showing up and having the sign on the door that says we didn't have enough people today, Yeah,
I'd be interested to see how that. I love a nice brunch.
Yeah.
I love being able to get breakfast at lunchtime. So
yes, you do. Yes, you do. All right. This is interesting. A new Surgeon General advisory says that living with loneliness is as bad or perhaps even worse than living with obesity or smoking. The surgeon calling it a public health crisis. It can lead to a host of problems, even premature death. Loneliness, that is. The warning is for people both young and old, and they say people are trying to substitute social media for relationship, and that doesn't work. One psychiatrist predicts that the problem is actually going to get worse, likely because of the rise of social media addiction. Doctors say COVID-19 related shutdowns made this issue exponentially worse. So the moral of the study, he says, get back in church, get back in a small group of some sort to find real connections with real humans in person.
Yeah, it's interesting. I read that story with the psychiatrist saying that people need to go back to church. Too many people have left church. He named that specifically because that's typically a group that you can count on seeing every week. You can count on them supporting you, that sort of thing. But yeah, we did the study when the Surgeon General, or we did the warning when the Surgeon General came out with it several weeks ago now. But this new twist on it saying, get back to church, get back into some sort of small group that's a regular thing with some accountability and something you can count on in your life. Because we're all so isolated now.
Yeah. Well, and truly only in America are we as autonomous. Even before COVID, America is a very autonomous society. That is not true of most, I would venture to say most other cultures outside of America. They are much more communal.
Yeah, and it didn't used to be true in America nearly as much as it is now. But now everybody drives home. You get home late from work. You go straight into your your garage. You close the door behind you, and nobody goes outside because we don't cut our own grass. So we hire somebody to cut the grass. So there's no opportunity for relationship if you're never outside. In the old days, when you were outside digging post holes, your neighbor would come help you, or at least stand on the fence and watch you while you're doing it and talk to you. You know what I mean?
I did pull weeds yesterday and chatted with neighbors while I was outside.
At our house or your mom's?
At our house, yeah. And my mom's, actually, strangely. But ours is what I'm talking about. And then I also helped move a piece of furniture yesterday at a neighbor's house. So,
well, look at you.
Look at me. I'm beating the norm over here.
Yeah, you're the model citizen. Model citizen, showing off. That's why the story is in the newscast tonight.
Thank you.
Or this morning, so that you can show off.
Moving on.
Talk about your good deeds. Good for you. We're all very happy for you. I didn't mention this yesterday. I should have. I forgot. I don't know why. But St. Louis just gained another Hall of Famer over the weekend. Third baseman Scott Rowland entered the Hall as a Cardinal, which is always, I love it when they go in as Cardinals, and many of them do. He played with the Redbirds for 5 seasons, playing in 4 All-Star games during that time, winning 3 Gold Gloves at third base during his time in St. Louis. Of course, he helped the Cardinals win 2 National League pennants and 1 World Championship in 2006. He had a great year in 2004, and then the Cardinals got swept in the World Series, and it was ugly. He is the 12th Hall of Famer to wear a Cardinals hat on his plaque, which is super, super cool. Congratulations to him. Then there's this. You may have heard about it. First, it was Peacock and YouTube and Netflix and Paramount, HBO Max, which is now just Max, Apple. All of them have raised recently their subscription rates. Now Spotify is the latest one to join them. The streaming service giant will go up $1 a month, so not too bad, but $1 a month for single users, and a group and family plan rate will go up on Spotify as well, more than $1, you can guess. You'll see that increase on your next bill if you have Spotify.
There you go. AMC Theaters tried a new thing, didn't quite take off, so now they're going back to the old thing. The movie theater chain started charging more money for the best seats in the house and less money for the front row seat, where you're like looking straight up at the screen and it hurt your neck. It didn't work, as it turns out. So they tried that at a few theaters, and then they were going to roll it out nationwide. But starting back in February, they said, you know what? We've been doing it and it hasn't been working. What they found instead is that guests who previously sat in the best seats were still willing to sit in the best seats, even with a slight upcharge. But there was no increase in people buying the front row seats, even though they were a bit cheaper. So back to the original plan.
But wouldn't they still be making more money if nobody buys the front 3 rows, whether they're cheap or not, and people pay more for the seats that they were already sitting in? Aren't they making more money as a theater chain? I thought this was a fairly good idea when it started. I don't know how it's fallen apart. Well,
they also thought that, which didn't make it in here, but I was reading about it, and they thought that their competitors were going to also do this, like follow suit, and nobody did.
Oh, So people are maybe choosing to go to a different theater because they're not being charged more for the same seats.
Correct.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
I don't honestly go to the movies often enough to be in that number, good or bad. But you know me, I'm drawn to the cheapest thing on the menu 100% of the time. Whether we're at a steakhouse or a movie theater or Walmart, I'm buying the cheapest one.
I do love that about you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I was born that way. I don't know what it is, but
frugal. It's frugality.
I'll try anything used.
Nothing wrong with that.
Running shoes. I'll buy them used.
Nothing wrong with that.
Doesn't bother me one bit. Just look at the soles. How are the soles, my friend? All right. Well, the fair kicks off this week. Try to say that quickly. Along with the heat, right on cue, always. The fair starts Thursday and will go for 9 days. So that is until August 5th. There are livestock shows, exhibits, the KY3 grandstand performances, rides, vendors, fried foods, you name it. You can find it at the fair. Should be a great time. I have covered a fair pregnant before. And you know what? It did not disappoint. You can milk a cow, among other fun things that you just don't do every day. Well, some people do it every day. We don't do it every day. So it's fun for the kids. And then I just highlighted a few events. On Saturday, July 29th, is the O'Reilly Outlaw Nationals Monster Truck Show. On Sunday, the 30th, Casting Crowns with special guest Kane.
It's a good
concert. Then on Friday and Saturday, August 4th and 5th, you can see the Bull Riding Nationals.
Yeah, the fair is always a good time. That new arena, not open yet, I don't think, but it's getting close over there. So
yeah,
next year,
open? Hold on a minute.
Is it open?
A story about it being open. It wasn't open yet, but it was super close. See, now I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's open yet for this fair. We'll have to check. If
I would have thought about it, I would have made a call before dark 30, and then we could have found out.
Nobody's answering the phone at this hour. But if not, it's very close to being open. You can see it, see the outside of it. But it's always hot. It's always hot at the fair, and this week is going to be no different. We're going to get up to 97 today, 98, 99, 100 as we step our way through the week. So the weekend is going to be hot as well, 98, 97. It's just going to be a hot week, not much rain in sight. So hey, get by the pool if you can or stay indoors or ride a fast ride. Maybe that'll do it.
Yeah.
Well, get a lot of wind.
Unless you've eaten a lot of fried food and then maybe don't. And then maybe don't.
That's true.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll see you tomorrow. Have a great day.
Yeah, that'll do it for Tuesday. Thanks for being with us, whether you listen to the podcast or you watch the podcast. Thanks to our sponsors for being with us as well. It's been fun to be back this week, back in the saddle and doing a little news.
Yeah, go check out Adventure Cave Tours and you won't be hot because what do they say? It's always 60 degrees underground, right?
Constant temperature, yeah.
There you go. And then I still love the park board's little phrase, go have fun. What is it? Go play. Fun. Go play. Go play.
Well, you got to get it right if you're going to say it. Abby's got her weather.
5 minutes since I've listened to it, so I forgot. But I like it. It's good. I like that.
Abby's got her weather forecast as well. You can check that out. Abby Dyer, Wake Up Weather. That is wherever you get this podcast. You can find her podcast. Yeah. Thanks for watching. Okay. Thanks for listening.
Bye.
It's time for Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather. Here's your host, Abby Dyer.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to your Tuesday. You are listening to Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather with me. I am Abby Dyer. Thanks for joining me this morning. We got a whole lot of heat in the headlines again today, kind of the same old story. We've been talking about the heat for weeks now, and now we're getting really close to seeing the hottest stretch of summer so far. wait till you see the numbers in my extended forecast. Today, I think at least we have a small chance for some showers and thunderstorms. Yesterday, we had those storms come through early in the day, kept our temperature down a little bit. But today, I think we really start to see those temperatures rise. And well, it's off to the races here from here on out this week. Heat back in the headlines. We are talking about a big warm up. I mentioned that small storm chance today. I think the best opportunity to see some showers and thunderstorms is going to be east of Highway 65. That's also where we'll find a little bit more cloud cover. So take a degree or two off the high temperature today. We're talking mid 90s out east. I think upper 90s for the central and western portions of the Ozarks today. It's going to be a hot one. The best chance for rain arrives early in the day as this complex of storms kind of rolls through the Midwest, and then we'll see things dry up. Then the ridge of high pressure, that big summertime bubble of hot air, takes over. And I don't see much end in sight this time around. We've kind of been on this pattern for the last several weeks where we get this big ridge of high pressure to build in. You know, it sits and it churns for a couple of days. We get 3 or 4 hot days in a row. So far this summer, we've had a 5-day stretch of 90-degree days in the forecast. I think we're going to break that this time around because this heat looks persistent and this ridge of high pressure is incredibly strong. Heat really expands. So when I look in the upper levels of the atmosphere, that's where we look for the big raises in the 500 millibar charts. And what I'm seeing happen here is this ridge of high pressure, it expands, it strengthens, and it takes over pretty much the southern half of the country. So if you think, you know, you've been watching national headlines, you've been hearing a lot about the heat in the South, just get ready. It's going to be heat headlines here for the next few weeks because I see this huge ridge of high pressure. And the real center of the heat is going to be from the Ozarks all the way back through the panhandle of Oklahoma, back into Texas, all the way into Arizona, and even New Mexico. So we are talking some incredible heat that's going to be really persistent. And that is also going to cut down on the rain chances a little bit. So today may be the next best chance for rain for you for the next week or so. I hope you get a little bit. As I look at the extended charts, I told you this ridge is going to be persistent. Well, just one example, the global model, when I look out really far on that 7-day forecast, it has multiple days, perhaps more than a week above 100 degrees. Now, I'm not saying that's going to happen here in the Ozarks exactly, but I think we're going to have some triple-digit days here in terms of actual temperature, not just heat index, and it's just not going to back off. So we're going to bounce around between upper 90s, low triple digits, probably starting this week as early as Thursday, lasting all the way through the first week of August. I really don't see this big ridge breaking down until about August 7th, August 8th. We start to see a pattern change. The ridge will retreat at that point, but it's going to be a brutal stretch of hot weather here today, kind of leading in to that. I have a high temperature today of 98 degrees. I think we will be cooler out east where we get more cloud cover and we have that better chance for rain. I want to tell you, though, that as we look out at some of the other numbers in the forecast, we're talking about a triple digit possibility by Thursday. By Friday and Saturday, I think we could still see the triple digits, and it's not better. Sunday, Monday, mid upper 90s for most. I still think we're in the upper 90s in a lot of places as we wrap up the weekend. So we're getting back into that territory where we're talking about very serious heat in the next couple of days. If you can, take advantage of today, get things done that you have to outdoors before this brutal heat really starts to settle back into the region. All right, I want to show you that brain twister question for the day. This one has to do with acceptance rates. Which big box store has a lower acceptance rate than Harvard? Do you think it is A, Target, B, Walmart, C, Costco, or D, Whole Foods? Those were the choices. I saw many of you taking a guess over on the Around the Ozarks Facebook page, and a lot of you are correct. Now, we don't have one in the Ozarks, at least that I'm aware of. I don't think so, no. I've only ever been to one of these one time, and the answer is D, Whole Foods. Very exclusive Whole Foods, very expensive Whole Foods, and also apparently very difficult to work there. So I saw this question and thought it would be a fun brain twister for us today. And then I looked up the actual acceptance rate to Harvard University. I could only find the latest was from 2021, but they have a 4% admission rate. And you have to think that a lot of people are self-eliminating before they try to apply, like, yeah, this is not really going to work for me. So qualified applicants apply there, and a 4% acceptance rate at Harvard. And apparently it is harder, or the acceptance rate is lower to be employed at Whole Foods. And that got me thinking, well, okay, what's so desirable about working at Whole Foods? So I looked up what it takes, and they actually tout this on when you apply, you submit your application and it says, we have a lower acceptance rate than Harvard. So there's a lot of applications. Don't be disappointed. But for the lucky few that get through and really want to work there, it does seem like they have a really good culture. They have a 20% in-store discount, which I hear you might need because they sell very expensive food items. But they also have, 401k, competitive pay. It does seem like they have a pretty good place to work, and all the employee reviews are very, very high. So vision, dental, comprehensive health insurance, good for them. Seems like a great place to be. But D, the answer to the brain twister question, Whole Foods today. I will leave you with the quiz question for tomorrow. This one, it's about potatoes. How much do you know? Idaho is known for potatoes, but it's not the top potato producing state in the United States. Do you think that is a true or a false statement? Let me know what you think. You can submit your guess over on the Around the Ozarks Facebook page. I will go there for comments. I'll have the answer for you early tomorrow morning, and we will get together and chat again about the forecast for the middle and end of the week. And if you need up-to-the-minute weather information all day long, make sure you go to aroundtheozarks.com. We've got you covered there all day long. I will catch you on Wednesday morning.